Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's the podcast table. We here on Dak Friday. If you didn't know, didn't see, I must say, I don't know where you were because yesterday on Turkey Day, the Dakota Prescotts protected home field and beat number 15 in the Kansas City Chiefs.
Here we go.
Today I got with me the one and only Tech Pete. Tech Pete, how we doing today?
First of all, the mass media will tell you that today is Black Friday. I want this to now be known going forward as Dakota Prescott, who wrapped up his fifth victory on Turkey Day. Reign Dakota Prescott. We are renaming this a part of a larger movement, Dak Friday. For those of you that are tuning in that shall see this, we are not spending any money on Dak Friday. We are spending our time relishing in what we saw was what they call Dakota willing his team to victory. And so that's where I am. That's where I am. I'm representing Oak Cliff Society today.
Yes, sir.
Oak Cliff Society. You are welcome. You are part of Oak Cliff. And yeah, that's what I'm on right now. I'm celebrating Dak Friday.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm Cam Air. I'm also from Oak Cliff. A lot of people don't believe me when I say that, but hey, I don't have anything to prove to anybody. And
Hey,
and
listen, they
and
can find out.
I mean, hey, it is what it is. But man, yesterday, real quick, want to make a real quick shout out. Shout out to Elijah and Lincoln. Hey, special
Oh,
guest at the dinner yesterday. They tried to tell me the Chiefs was gonna win. They said McDuffie was gonna lock down, and I saw 22 getting mossed out there. I mean, he was getting partied upon. It was a feast before the feast. Oh my
CD,
goodness.
CD.
Yeah, hey,
He
he
showed
had
up.
CD
He
catching
showed up.
balls. Hey, but
CD.
at the end of the day, I'm gonna say, will the real 88 please stand up because number 3 jumped over? I think it was McDuffie jumped over. Man, oh my goodness, what a talented group of receivers. Um, and Dak's playing at the helm. O line played really good yesterday. I mean, I seen Booker in there making some good blocks. And yeah, everybody. I mean, the running back, Malik Davis and Javante, both with touchdowns as well. So everybody was well fed, and defense did their job pretty much to the end. So it's gonna look good because next, the remaining schedule. And it's so unfortunate that we took a break when we did, because when we took that break, those were the games that I was going to pick against the Cowboys. But next up, they got the Lions. You know how I feel
Next
about the
Thursday.
They
So
got the
shout out real
Chargers.
real quick before we go out. Before we move on, next Thursday we'll be in Shreveport with the one NFL watch
Mm.
party. Got 25 NFL former NFL players that will be there. I don't have the list of names right in front of us. Of course, this is in partnership with Byron Williams, president of the NFL Alumni Dallas chapter. And so we're moving forward with something like that. So next Thursday, we're going to be able to see. We might have to name it Dak Thursday if he comes out and does what we think Dak will do against the Detroit Lions. But we'll talk about that in just a moment. But you're gonna go on and talk about the possibility that Jerry has in front of him.
And
That
listen,
Jerry has in front of him. Yeah.
yeah, listen. You got the Lions. I don't trust them. And I don't know who's exactly after, but I know the next two are the Vikings and the Chargers. I don't trust her loss, and I don't trust JJ McCarthy. These are all guys that you teams that you would pick. I don't pick those people, so I'm
Wait
already
a minute.
looking.
Hold on. Wait a minute. There's a difference between my picks and your picks. There's a different. Don't do that. Because I don't talk about the record. I don't talk about the data.
That's fine.
But if you want to come here in a very public setting, we can. We can talk about the difference in my picks versus your picks.
I have nothing to hide, but at the end of the day, we don't get to choose on all the games. It's set five. It is what it is. The record is what it is. Now we're gonna see how that goes today because I got one for you today. I don't know where you're gonna go with it. I don't know where you're gonna go with it. But
Lord, Lord, come in, Lord.
you know what? Let's
Yeah.
go ahead. There's actually a game today on Black Friday. You knew that, right?
On Dak Friday.
On
Dak
Dak
Friday.
Friday,
That's
yeah.
on. Yeah, yeah. But there is the game. So who we got today on Dak Friday?
This is actually two teams that have played Dak this year. We got the Philadelphia Eagles
Cream
versus
cheese.
the Chicago Bears.
Oh man! Oh no! Oh no! Oh not the
Yeah,
Bears!
buddy.
Oh
Yeah,
man! The
buddy.
Chicago Bears. You know what? Shout out Chicago, man. Yesterday I was so inspired by, I just felt vibes and energy from Chicago. I should have known something like this was coming. When I made my video, my creation documenting what I did on Thanksgiving, which, I will say shout out to everybody that was able to join us for Thanksgiving. If you were not there, your grandmother will thank you for not being there because what we put out on that table yesterday, next Thanksgiving or Christmas, you're gonna have to go look your grandma or your big mama in the eye.
Mm,
And after having what we had yesterday and what I put out every Thanksgiving, every holiday season, it's hard to go back and look at Big Mama the same way. Because Tech P in the kitchen, I also go by Chef Jeff. And so check
mm.
that out. Check that out. But what I was going to say is when I was putting that together, I was moved. In the first musical selection that I chose, you can check it on my feed. It was Step in the Name of Love, Groove in the Name of Love.
Uh-oh.
Well, well, well. Yeah. And then I followed that up with I'll be loving you forevermore. So it was a chocolate factory type of vibe to it. And so now
Mm,
here we are, and we're talking about Philadelphia cream cheese and the
mm.
Chicago Bears. Oh my God. Chicago. And listen, stand up. What are they, 8-3 right now?
8-3.
Chicago's 8-3 right now. This game is being played where?
I want to say it's in Chicago. So
In
they're in,
Chicago. Yeah.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
in.
You know what?
No, they're in Philly. They're in Philly.
They're in Philly. They're in
They're in
Philly,
Pennsylvania.
man. So I need to take a few. I need to make sure that emotions are out of the way.
Mm,
Make sure I allow God space to lead me on this one because these are two teams that I like to beat up on. I
yeah,
like to beat up on these teams.
I told you I
You
had
know,
one in the
Chi-
chamber for you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I do like to beat up on these teams. So I need to back away from this. I mean, it's been 40 years since the Bears have done anything as far as winning a championship.
Hey.
It's been
Okay, well,
40.
it sounds like you need a little bit more time to ruminate after
Yeah,
hearing this. Okay, so let me go through my thought process. I started off
yeah.
the season saying that I like I like what the Bears got assembled in front of us, and then they proceeded to disappoint me early in the season. And I started to renege. I started to, step back, and they've been winning. They've been winning, and the other team the Eagles, they've gotten away with a bunch of stuff this season, like week 1 and really the Chiefs game as well. I felt like they got away with. There was a couple more games too, and I don't believe in them. I've never I believe in their talent, don't believe in their coaching, and I believe in the Bears' coaching. Now, I think I'm gonna lean towards Chicago with the upset because um, it would favor me the most. So Chicago with the upset, it's gonna favor me the most. It's gonna put the Detroit Lions this much farther away. It's gonna put Dak Prescott this much closer. I know people say, "Oh, well, Chicago loses out, we can get the." No, it's time for Dak to win the division again. We're not. I don't care about that squeaking into a 5, 6, 7 seed. Go win the division. These guys are frauds. They've collapsed before, and I told you it was coming at some point. I just predicted it a week early against the Lions, which was a mistake. The Lions stink, and you're going to see that next week. And you saw it this week. And now the collapse begins.
He's
Chicago
taking
and Philly.
he's taking Chicago Bears. He's
Chicago.
taking the Chicago. So for me, I always have to think about this from every angle, and it would be in my best interest to always show love. Always lead
Mm,
with love.
mm,
Always lead with love. And it's very hard to do when it's something that you don't love. I do not love Philadelphia cream cheese. I do
mm.
not love the Chicago Bears. I do not love either one of them. So in this particular case, I have to also think about where we are from a scoring standpoint, from a ranking standpoint. And so it would be in my best interest to choose the Bears as well. That would be in my best interest since I am, really, if in a perfect world, both of these teams would lose today against each other. If they could both lose, then that would be best.
A
That
little
would be
tired.
best
Yeah.
if they both lose. But in this particular case, you know what? I am going to go. I am going to go with very spare the moment. I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts. I'm gonna go with
Yes, I
Jalen
got
Hurts.
him.
I'm
I
gonna go with
got him.
Jalen Hurts. I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. And one of the reasons why I want to go with Jalen Hurts is because I, I, I want to give Cam Era an opportunity to prove himself.
He's
Going out on the
hey,
limb, going out on the limb.
who's
Right?
going out on the limb?
They're playing in Philly, right?
They're playing in Philly. The limb
They're
is
they're
mine. I'm
playing.
on the limb.
Yeah, yeah. They. Well, you are on the limb, but I could get on that limb with you. It's not really a hard one to reach for. It's Philadelphia, and they just lost to the Cowboys, who, are starting to look like, all world, but they're just going into a part of their schedule where they may be meshing well and becoming a better team, but they're also playing, as you say, teams that are not good. And so, uh, the Philadelphia Eagles lost to them, and it's the Bears. And so the Bears are 8-3, and they've been actually performing well. And so it could be easy to pick the Bears, but I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts. I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts at home. The city of brotherly love, which is unlovingly.
Mm,
I have my own experience with brothers who
mm,
call you brothers but don't show love. And
mm,
so uh, I will tell you
mm.
that you could actually still stand with a brother that doesn't show love and show love. And so that's what I'll do to those people out there in Philadelphia. I'll show them what love looks like.
Wow.
And I will pick the Philadelphia cream cheese today.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
Finally, finally.
finally, he picks the Philadelphia Eagles. I picked them maybe once or twice this season, but this is his first time, I believe. So
First, the last, the last time that I'll probably ever pick the Philadelphia cream cheese.
wow, Chicago. This is what you mean to him. He picks Philadelphia for the first and last time. The first and last time. Tech P. Tech, maybe Tech Philadelphia this. Oh man. Okay. Next up, we got uh, a game that everybody will probably be tuned into. We got the 49ers and Brock Purdy visiting Shadur Sanders in his second start in Cleveland, and the 3-8 Browns going up against the 8-4 Niners. Now, I wanted to do this game because, of course, Shadur Sanders uh, won his first game starting. Um, and I also wanted to do this game because
It's not
Brock
his first game
Purdy,
start. You,
huh?
you said this. You said he won his first game starting, or this is his first game starting.
He won his first game starting.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And Brock Purdy has been stinking it up, managing to win a game against the Carolina Panthers last Monday night with 3 interceptions and still coming out with the W. Now he's going up against Myles Garrett, who is looking to potentially break
Set
the
a
sack
record.
record again. He's looking to do it again. And man, oh man, for me, I'm taking the Cleveland Browns because that defense, that guy on the defense, he's generational. In a league where defenders can't do as much, he is as dominant as we have seen. He is with the J.J. Watts, he's with the Aaron Donalds, and potentially beyond because he's only what, 26, 27. This guy is a phenom, and now he has a quarterback that can push the ball down the field, be accurate in that way, and really give them hope. Really give them hope. And they have playmakers on that. Like they have Jerry Judy. He's a dropper too, so I don't want to get too hyped on Jerry Judy. He drops the ball, but he's still a decent wide receiver. They got an Njoku on the other side too, and so I just think the Niners are cooked. And all the Niners fans out there, man, it sucks. You had a team that fooled you, fool's gold. The Niner gold was fool's gold. The California Rush, fool's gold. And now you paid the full gold. Brock Purdy, 50 something million. Oh my gosh, bankruptcy.
It's Dak Friday, and he's no Dak Prescott.
Yeah. Nah, yeah. I feel sorry for you Niners fans. I always told you not to pay
I
him,
don't.
but hey,
I
it
don't
is what
feel
it is.
sorry for a 49ers fan. I don't feel sorry for a 49ers fan at all. This
Mm.
is the 49ers and the
Yo, Tech P, can you hear me? We're running through some technical difficulties right now, but I'll predict if I think. No, actually, I'm gonna let him say it, but I think I know where he's gonna go with this as well. But while we wait on Tech P to come back, man. Hey, man, try to tell y'all about the Lions. I mean, to me, Green Bay is not that great, but they're better than the Lions. They proved it. They beat them twice this year. They beat them on day one. See, that's one thing that Dak didn't let happen. Dak didn't let the team that beat him on day one beat him in week 13. See the Lions and Jared Goff.
mic check, mic check.
Oh, he's back. He's back. Okay. We missed the take. You were starting to get into it. You said don't be sorry for the Niners fans. Can you hear me? Hold on, Tech Pete can't hear us. Yeah. So what I was saying was Dak Prescott did not let that happen, but Jared Goff, and I will be fair. His O line is, you know, hurt. Even though these, with certain other quarterbacks, people are not fair. But I'll be fair. His O line is hurt. This, that, and the other. But I saw him with a healthy O line lose to the Commanders in the playoffs. Number one seed. He lost to number one seed. He basically opened up for the Eagles to get to the Super Bowl, just like so easily. If they win that game, I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly how the seeding goes, but maybe the Rams face the Eagles a little bit sooner. I just don't. I don't understand how anyone could really trust them unless they are a Detroit Lions fan. You know, shout out to my boy Zach from Fisk. He's from Michigan. He was a Detroit Lions fan. Shout out to my Uncle Keith, Detroit Lions fans. But yeah, I just I don't see it. And then the other game, oh my goodness. Hey man, I've lost all faith in the Ravens. Oh my goodness. I mean, every time they make a play, they fumble the ball. Tech P, can you hear us? Tech P still working on the tech issues. But yeah, every time they make a play, they fumble the ball. Likely. Zay Flowers in the playoffs. Lamar yesterday, fumbling the ball. Like careless. I mean, turnover battle is going to pretty much determine the game. Got to take care of the ball. So I've lost all faith in the Ravens, and it's sad because Lamar to me is he's top three that I've ever seen. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson. I probably say from witnessing myself, um, it's not looking good as far as getting to that ultimate goal. They don't have the carefulness that they should. And yeah, they may make the playoffs this year, but I wouldn't hold my breath in any game that I would watch from them. I mean, aside from them playing like the Texans or the Colts or something like that, something like. But Bengals, Joe Burrow's back. Joe Burrow looks solid. I mean, they were struggling to score in this first half, but uh, knocking some rust off, this, that, and the other. But yeah, they opened it up in the second half. Um, it'd be interesting to see if they could possibly make a push. I mean, I would love to see them in the playoffs. High powered offense, very exciting quarterback and playmakers. Um, and as much as I like defense and being able to have a balanced game and stuff like that, they are one of the few teams where I would welcome that offensive explosion. Them the not the Lions. Well, the Lions too, if they have an offensive explosion for sure. The Rams, Cowboys. Uh, I'd say potentially the Bills. They just don't have the playmakers like those other teams do. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can load up this next game in case Tech P can't get back on. Let's see. Okay. Oh, hold on. Speak of, and he shall appear. Yo, yo.
I am Tech P.
There
I
he
shall
is.
not be overcome.
Mm,
Everything Jeremiah 29 is sent to prosper me. And so,
mm,
as I was saying, I'm not really
mm,
sure what was said since I left because of those technical difficulties. However, the 49ers I do not feel sorry for.
mm.
Sometimes you are in a season and in a place where it could only be explained as though this is God's will. And
Mm.
so no one can tell me that it made any sense for Shadur Sanders to slide to the what, fifth, sixth round?
Fifth round.
Fifth round. And now here it is, week 10, 11, where are we in? 12, we're somewhere in there. And he's coming off of a win in a place that doesn't seem like they really want him. However, I'm seeing their defensive stud on the line, on the sideline, responding when he puts that ball downfield. And so the locker room and the people are the ones who are going to determine this deal. And so what do I see Shador doing today? I see him doing what he's always done, showing up for the moment, showing up for the moment. And most importantly, in in the presence of a moment of growth, he never shies away from acknowledging that, taking accountability for it, and speaking towards how he'll go forward and prepare himself to be better from the experience. And so I've been really pleased with what I've seen from him, not just in the last week, but over the course of his career. And we've been watching Shador here in Dallas, I want to say easily since he was a high school sophomore or freshman. And the kid hasn't missed. The young man hasn't missed. And then the man isn't missing. He is persevering in a place that has been toxic for years. The Cleveland Browns are the place where fans show up and put bags over their heads. This is who they are. But it should do a time. It should do a time right now. And so I'm taking Shador today over the 49ers. I mean, can you imagine that this guy would roll into a place where now he's got a national stage? A national stage. Everybody's going to be watching Shador tonight. The NFL ratings are going to be the charts, off the charts. It's going to be almost like having Dak Friday. It's almost going to be like having Dak Friday, but this
Should do it
time it's
Sunday.
Shador.
Should do it Sunday.
I'm telling you, you better know it. You better know it.
What
You
do you
better
think?
know it. So
What
yeah,
do you think are the
go ahead.
possibilities of Kevin Stefanski surviving this season into next season? And if he does not, uh, stay as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, who would you like to see in there?
I expect Kevin Stefanski to be back. To be honest with you,
Mm.
I expect him to be back. If you look at the world, if you look at the world, what would Stefan what would he be being fired for?
I think if they start
They
winning right
better,
now,
yeah.
I think most likely he will be fired for not being able to identify uh, someone that would give him a better chance than Dylan Gabriel.
Well, his front office wasn't able to identify them either because they picked him. They picked him after
Well, that
they
was
picked
that
the other
was
kid.
that was him in the owner. The GM is the one that picked Shador in the fifth round, Andrew Berry. So
Yeah, but what I'm saying is those people with that type of privilege, they very rarely hold themselves accountable. And so you're
what
expecting
I
for the
will say
people who
is
made
he's
the
been there for a long time. It hasn't just been this season. He's been there
they're
for a while. They
toxic.
got rid of Baker Mayfield. He didn't
They're
adjust to
toxic.
Deshaun Watson, and he's
No
been
one
through
could no one could adjust to that.
tenures. Huh?
Well, I'm not advocating that he deserves to keep his job. I'm saying that in this America, it's more
Yeah, no,
likely for a
it was a
man like him
question.
to not be held accountable. And so if Shador comes in and wins, then he's saving this man's job, who will then turn around in the beginning of next offseason and probably say that he's holding a quarterback competition. This is more likely. Now, what they don't realize is that by drafting Shador in the fifth round, that if Shador performs when he performs, then he has the leverage. He has
Ushador?
the leverage because, yeah, he has the leverage, unless they want to show us another Kaepernick moment and they just want to just not sign talent because they want to, it's collusion and they're deciding not to sign talent. And we can't put that past them when they've already shown us that they will do that. And
Yeah.
so, it's great. It's great because we can now look at them with a set of eyes with no scales. And what we know is Shador, he's showing up and doing his part. He's showing up
Yeah.
and doing his part. And
So
he's
we
even
both.
holding up what I like to call the Janixon.
Mm,
Nixon did this first. And I have the picture on Father's Day when he was about 4 years old of him holding up a Father's Day gift like this, that a watch deal that he had made me. And then Shador copied that.
mm,
And he's made that famous. My son Nixon. My son Nixon started this. And so Shador is going to raise the Nixon,
mm.
and we're gonna get a victory today on Dak Friday.
Well, that's on Sunday at 12 o'clock. The only game today
Oh,
is gonna be the Eagles and the Bears at 2 o'clock.
you're right. You're right. You're right. You're
And
right. So what time is the Cleveland game? Is this a nationally televised game?
it's 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock.
Hey,
Let me see if it's
ain't they at the part of the season where this should be flexible? They should be flexing this game. This game should be flexed this Sunday.
this
Who's playing Sunday
this
night?
CBS 12 o'clock. Um, Another game that I want to talk about at 12 o'clock. We got the Colts. Indianapolis Colts are hosting H Town in a division battle that can sway the tides. Houston, I mean, they're 6-5, but I mean, they're one of the best 6-5 teams as far. I mean, that defense right there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know if CJ Stroud is still out, but honestly, I think for their sake, maybe he needs to be out because their reliance on him on offense is maybe what's been holding them back because with Davis Mills, they've won a few games. And I'm not saying he's better than CJ Stroud in any stretch or form of the imagination. I'm just saying what has transpired is in the results are wins. And when I look at the Colts, I have been an advocate for the Colts. I've been an advocate for the Colts this entire season. Jonathan Taylor has been the best running back in the NFL. Uh, Daniel Jones has been surprising, and their defense is really, really good. But me personally, Daniel Jones, I think he has some type of fibula injury. That's not good news when you're going up against Will Anderson and them boys on defense. I'm gonna take D'Amico Ryans and the Houston Texans to win a division game and really put that AFC South in. You know, I mean, it's gonna be a throw up because you got those two teams. The Jaguars are still kind of in it in that division, and then who's the last team in that division? Oh, the Tennessee Titans. They're done. But those three teams are still in a little three-horse race, and I think Houston will make the race a little bit closer. And I'll take the Houston Texans to beat the Indianapolis Colts.
Shout out Tiger Byrai. Shout out Big John Byrai. They got a new Houston chant. Been seeing that they doing. I don't know how big it's gotten, but I see them out there and they're doing this. They're really passionate Houston Texans fans. And I have a special place in my heart for Houston Texans fans, especially those above, you know, 20 years of age or so. They had to wake up and they had to experience their fathers and their mothers, or Stuart Scott at the time, tell them that their team had left them in the middle of the night and put their football team on the truck and they went up to Tennessee. And so,
Hmm.
they've been able to, the very first game that the Houston Texans ever played, I believe, is probably the biggest win in franchise history. I believe it was the very first game. It was a game against the Dallas Cowboys and they won it. And it's the biggest win, I think, probably in the history of their franchise. And the Houston Texans are a relatively young franchise. And so, I love what they're doing there. I have a special place in my heart for them and their fans. As a Dallas Cowboy fan of old and a retired Dallas Cowboy fan, I remember growing up, and I never, as much as Jerry pains me, gerrymandering pains me. They don't have to deal with Bud Adams anymore. He's in Tennessee, or his team and his legacy's in Tennessee. They got their team got up and moved. Never forget it in 1998. Can you imagine turning on the TV, boom, and your team is gone. Get them out of here.
Oh man.
It happened. And so now today we're talking about the Colts versus them. And although I have a special place in my heart, I do love the story of what the Colts have been able to do once Jim Irsay is not in the equation.
Mm.
And so now you mean to tell me that all of this was in the cupboard and they took some throwaway quarterback out of the New York Football Giants and they put together this team with these ladies I guess they said girls didn't know football. And so they are there doing something in Naptown as they call it. And you got to say that it's actually the results are showing that they're moving in the right direction. And so because of that, I'm going to say that the data and everything else supports that the Colts will be able to win at home. And so I'm taking the Colts. And the Texans, I want to encourage the Rise, Tiger Rise, John Jeremy, that's Tiger, Justin Rise. I want to encourage you guys to continue with that H-Town chant. I think that's dope. It builds community. Win, lose, or draw, you guys are there. You guys are there outside the stadium and continue to fight on. But this week, I'm going to have to choose Danny Dimes
Mm.
and the Colts. That's where I'm going. Daniel Jones
So
and the
shout out
Colts.
that Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones. I normally would pick you, but I know you're injured, so hopefully you get some rest up after this game and continue to win, or maybe win this game too. Who knows? We shall see on Sunday. Next up, we got an AFC matchup. It's a little important. We got the reigning MVP, Josh Allen and Bills Mafia, going to face a four-time MVP and Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, this is a big one because the Steelers are 6-5, Bills are 7-4. Both, Bills are finding a way to. I mean, they might have lost the division if they lose this game. I think the Patriots are probably going to win that division. So they have to win, and they have to hope for some miracles to happen for themselves. And the Steelers, I mean, they just got helped out by the Bengals this Thursday. While the Ravens lost, they have a chance to take back control of the division, at least and lead. But these teams have both underwhelmed. I mean, I guess you could say the Steelers are on the pace for their 500 record as usual. Uh, Recently, under Mike Tomlin, and the Bills 7-4, not winning the division. This is not what we expected from them this year. Who turns it around on Sunday?
I'm taking the Bills.
Taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills. Aaron Rodgers getting banged up. I believe he's what, 42, 43 years old.
Something like
Uh,
that.
it's getting it's getting colder outside. It's getting colder outside. And in this game, no matter where it's gonna be played, it's gonna be outside and it's gonna be cold.
It's in Pittsburgh, but he played in Green Bay. He used to that.
Understand that, but when you get old, you know, when you get
There's not
old,
a lot of retirement
well, I should
homes
say
in Pittsburgh.
when you get older, it's not like he's just going to the gym and warming up. I mean, the people are gonna be looking to put some pressure on his body. His hand is gonna be clanking around, hitting people's helmets and things. And so those things hurt. I don't know if you ever been hit in the ear in the cold before. I have. I've had brawls outside in the cold before as a young kid. Getting hit in the cold is the worst. It is the worst. I mean, you can get hit while it's hot outside and not even feel it because the adrenaline is pumping and rushing and all the rest of that. But get hit when it's cold. It'll stop you. It'll stop you from fighting. It'll take the fight out of you. And so, uh, I'm gonna go with the Bills. There's a big difference between 7-4, uh, and being a wash of a season. Yeah, they can go on and win out and still have a good season. And Josh Allen is a gamer, and so that's what I'm looking to see. If Lamar, if we can accept Lamar having some struggles and Baltimore Ravens having some struggles, we can accept that from the Bills. I think both of them gonna be right there in the end. It's gonna be what it normally is, but it's time for them to both turn it up right now. And I'm not taking Pittsburgh, who is, Tomlin puts a product out there every year, but they're not scary. They're not scary at all.
Mm,
They're not scary
mm.
at all.
So Tech P has the Buffalo Bills. Me on the other side of the screen, Aaron Rodgers pretty much started me watching football. I,
Oh,
you know, when I was a Dallas Cowboys hater, in Dak's first playoff game, I saw Aaron Rodgers to this day make the greatest throw I've probably ever seen. And I said, wow, I didn't know football could be that amazing. He rolled out to his left, across his body to the tight end on the sideline. What a conversion. I think it was Jared Cook, and then Mason Crosby kicked the field goal, throwing into the uprights. Very lucky, but Aaron Rodgers, what he was able to do, the way that he's able to throw the football, to me is second to none. He's the greatest talent that I've ever seen at the position. And as much as I would love for him to win this game, I can't. I wouldn't pick it. I wouldn't pick it. And that's because the Steelers defense, they're the highest paid defense in the NFL, and they got the names and they're not producing. So the idea was we're going to have the highest paid defense in the NFL. We're going to have one of the safest quarterbacks who's accurate, who's going to take care of the football, and we're going to win in that way. And the defense just has not been showing up. So you're asking Aaron Rodgers at 40 plus to shoot out with all these young guns in the cold. It's not happening. So unless the defense just steps up and gets back into fulfilling what their names are, I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills as well. Um, I just, you know, and you mentioned something about Lamar Jackson while you were having the slight difficulties. I mentioned that I've given up hope on the Ravens. It's sad to say
mm.
I've given up hope on the Ravens because I said the top three quarterbacks that I had ever seen in my life were Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Lamar Jackson. And it will suck because the anticipation for him to compete for a championship, I've lost hope for it. I've lost hope for it. They have to make some major changes, starting with the coach. He has to go, and they have to shake it up a little bit. I like that they have continuity a lot of the times, but John has gotten away with a lot off of a great Joe Flacco run. So uh, hoping to be wrong on that, but just wanted to bring that back up because you did miss that earlier. I've given up all hope on the Ravens. Um, I would love to see them in the playoffs, but I wouldn't hold my breath to see them win any game. Um, Finally,
I can
uh,
understand that. Yeah.
instead of
Keep
the
going.
Mon- instead of the Monday night game, because we got the Patriots Giants, like that's kind of you know that might be an easy little pick. I'm gonna pivot into college football. We have the game this week: Ohio State versus the Michigan Wolverines. The national champions face a team they have not beat in 4 years.
Yeah. You know,
Techie,
I
what
can make a phone call right now. I can make a
you
phone call. Shout out Jamal Broden. Shout out Keith Claiborne. Shout out Tito G. Shout out Ricky Thigpen. Shout out Marcia. These are all big blue, big Michigan fans. And, you know, I could look at this. I can make a phone call to Jamal. I know for sure. Keith, I know for sure. Tito, I know for sure. And they could tell me exactly how many days it's been since the last time State beat Michigan. They can tell you. I mean, bro, he'll tell you. Last time I heard him say this, he said, "Oh, it was about 1,200," and I mean, he named it down, and I looked it up, and it was like it was less than 5% off. I mean, it was probably less than 2.5% off. He's only gonna be off by a couple days. How many days it's been since Ohio State, that team in Ohio, as they like to call it, or that team down south. It is what they call the game. I think this year, this is the year Ohio State actually wins.
know.
I think, I think that, yeah, and I don't think that it's the beginning of a long run. I don't think it was the beginning of a long run. I think that with Michigan beating them last year, that was a hell of an accomplishment and a knockoff to the program. But Michigan's been in some transition to Jim Harbaugh, and then also trying to figure out who that quarterback is going to be post JJ. They got a freshman in there this year that's actually doing really, really good. And so I do think the future is very, very bright for them. But this year, I think that Ohio State is going to win this game. I have to pick this. I have to pick Ohio State
Mm,
to pick Ohio State this year for that game. Who do you have? You got Ohio
Ohio
too.
State,
That's the reason why yeah, you got Ohio too. That's why
they're
you
11 and
respond that
0,
way.
reigning national champions. Done very well for themselves this year. Michigan Wolverines are 9 and 2, 15th seed. You know, not the best year, but hey, it's not the worst year either. And
Yeah.
because it's not the worst year, and I believe this game is in Michigan. This game is in Michigan. And I think one way to neutralize a team with dominant wide receivers and a passing threat is to run the football. And that has been Michigan's MO for a while now.
Forever.
I'm taking the Wolverines. Uncle Brody, Uncle Keith, I got you. I got your back. It's not happening. Not this year. It's too obvious. They won 4 in a row. It's time for Ohio State to win. It's guess what? Ohio State won the national championship last year, and guess who they lost to? And I think they had a worse record that year, this Michigan Wolverines. So,
The
yeah,
conquering heroes.
it's time for them to go ahead and drop a game. And it's gonna be this game. And the Wolverines, I mean, I don't know, 10 and 2 with a win over Ohio State. That might be enough to sneak in the playoffs. That might be enough, depending on how everything else shakes out. That might be enough. And I think that would be in the best interest of all parties involved. So I got the Michigan Wolverines. I'm standing with my uncles. I'm standing with all of Michigan. When it doesn't come to the Detroit Lions, I'm standing with all of Michigan, and I will never stand with the Ohio State Buckeyes unless I just absolutely have to.
Yeah, I don't stand with the Buckeyes. I just made a
Yeah,
I
you're
just
picking
made
them. No,
a
I'm
pick.
not saying I'm not saying you stand with them. I'm just saying I would never stand with them. and I would never pick them unless it was just unimaginable that the Wolverines couldn't win. And honestly, I just think they have the recipe and the formula. They've proven it to me. They got the recipe and the formula.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game to watch. It's gonna be a good game to watch. I'm trying to figure out. I'm just leaving the charging station, and
Hmm.
today is Black Friday, and I do see some cars out, but the traffic does seem little light for Black Friday.
Hey man, economy is
Traffic
crazy.
does seem a little light. You said what?
I think economy is a little different, and also I think people are really starting to realize that it's a sham. They
It's
cover up the
absolutely
real
a sham.
prices
I'm
and
out.
then put
This
a
is
fake price and discount
yeah,
the fake price, and it's more than
yeah, and that
the cover up price. So
yeah, and Black Friday started in October. Remember,
yeah,
they've been talking about Black Friday since Halloween. Yeah, man.
yeah.
What we got next?
Shoot, we can go NBA
Oh,
now.
oh, so well, we done with football. You know who we got tonight, don't you?
Well, yeah, that's where I was going. We got the
Yeah,
Dallas
yeah.
Mavericks versus the LA Lakers in LA. We actually started this
Hold
debate.
on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
No, no, go ahead.
we actually started this debate yesterday. The aftermath of everything that has happened between that point and now. I mean, what are your thoughts? Share them to the public, Tech B.
What was the question?
The aftermath and everything that has transpired. What are your thoughts? What your insight on
With regards to what?
between the transaction between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks and what has happened then till
The
now.
transaction? The transact. So you just want me to just speak openly about kind of my assessment. And
Yeah,
which
yeah.
hat do I have on? Do I have on my former Dallas Mavericks fan hat? Do I have on my business hat? Which hat do you want me to wear?
They're your hats. You, you,
Well, this is what I'll say. I have to say this because people will think something about what I say, and certain people will hear it differently. Um, when you have an asset and you want to get rid of an asset, you don't take that asset and get rid of it for less than it's worth. And so, if it doesn't matter if everyone doesn't agree that you're getting rid of this asset. It doesn't matter. Your job as as a steward of your resources and your assets is to be in position to make sure that you get everything that the asset is worth. And so in this particular case, and I can say I haven't done a good job at this at all times. I've made some bad deals in my lifetime. I'm not above making bad deals, and you have to be able to say that. I've never made a bad deal getting rid of what will consider something so rare or as rare and unique as just say a world class athlete like a Luka Doncic, even a world class athlete, as they say, like Luka Doncic. In this particular case, we don't know what the market was for this particular world class athlete because it was done in secrecy in the middle of the night. What we do know is that there was still resources and draft picks that were left in the buttery. Now, did you know that buttery was another word for the cupboard? In the
mm,
buttery, they left draft picks, they left Austin Reeves, they left things in the buttery that should have been coming back if you're going to get rid of a world-class athlete in the night. It has to be a deal that you're saying, hey, this is one of a kind. I can never get this for it. It sounds like they went in thinking that, hey, we need to just get a player for player. And if you think that a 26-year-old fat Luca, uh, that's what you call him, that won't listen to you, which I know why he won't listen to you is because you're not very smart, you're not very strategic, and you showed that with what you did, won't listen to you, and you think getting Anthony Davis, respect him as a man, uh, you know, all of those things as a human. However, usually age and injury decrease the value and the leverage that one has by way of a value assessment or in a trade. And so they didn't take that into account. And AD did what AD does. And right now to the point where it's game day, and we don't even know if AD is gonna be playing in this game. We don't know if he's gonna be playing in this game. And so Fire Nico is already taking place. Fire Nico has grown so large that it's bigger than a person. Every person out there with the name Nico has been impacted by this. Now, anytime somebody thinks about the name Nico, they think Fire Nico first. That's how. That's how. That's how. Out of this world, this decision was and is still. It's going to be case studies one day. And so, what do I think about this? I think that it was a trade that showed the lack of business competence, the inability to properly negotiate. I think it just represents a inferior level of business acumen, is what I would say for all parties involved, and anyone who did not quit when they heard such foolishness that did not need these revenue. I understand what people like, the people who sat up and watched me be mistreated in the workplace and they didn't speak up. They have families to take care of. I get it. You can't go out here and speak up in a way that you're going to be retaliated against and not be able to take care of your family. But if your family's ability to eat is not being questioned, then you cannot claim ignorance. You can only claim that either you were following or you agreed. That's my logic. And so as a result of that, I think I think that Mark Cuban is now looking at these things, and we're not questioning his level of business acumen. We already know the mistakes that Mark Cuban says he made. He made the mistake of assuming he was going to maintain a certain level of control after the sale, and that didn't happen. But well, now Patrick Dumont seems to be allowing Mark Cuban in and back into a level of influence. And I would imagine he's using his level of influence now to look at anyone who did not tell him that Luka Doncic was being traded. Now Mark Cuban has got to figure out what that means to him. Can he trust those people going forward? I don't know. I know that they knew Mark Cuban's phone number. And if someone says something that is going to be detrimental and they care about me, then I would expect for someone to pick up the phone and say, so all parties showed who they were. And now it's going to be interesting to see the fallout. As we can see it on the basketball court, Luka Doncic is performing at an all-world, all-NBA level. After being heartbroken by somebody making a decision about doing some things, making a decision to change his life. He's performing at all world level. On the other side, people are losing their jobs. You have an organization that is in a disarray. You have Anthony Davis, who's coming out saying, "Oh yeah, I'd like to play on Friday, but I don't know if I'll play on Friday or Saturday. I don't know." You got an owner who he says he works out of Las Vegas primarily, who's stepping in to say, "Yeah, I need to know about all injuries, and I'm gonna make the decision." So, and meanwhile, you have one of the most successful medical staffs formerly of the Dallas Mavericks performing well in New and the same people who got rid of Luca, the same people who got rid of the medical staff that's now in New York. And so, what if AD had that medical staff? They had a long, rich track record of being able to get players onto the court, and they're doing it. They're doing it in New York now. And so, you could just see bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. I'm not sure what. Well, I have less data points than the people making the decisions. However, we have to judge by the results. And you can say, well, there's been injuries or whatever the case is. I'll tell you what, I've had a string of bad luck as well. I've had a string of bad luck as well, but I didn't have a lottery pick in the middle of it. So even with a lottery pick, I'm gonna tell you who needs to be really questioned here too, and that's Jason Kidd. That's Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd is doing a good job of cloaking as a head coach. You mean to tell me that he didn't know and he wasn't a part of that decision? Yes, you were, Jason Kidd. You might have been. You might have been the ringleader. You might have been the ringleader, and I've seen Jason Kidd be fired unceremoniously twice, to the point where he had to go sit on the bench in LA to rehab his reputation, if you recall that, as an assistant. And so now he comes to Dallas and wants to pretend like he's some type of all-world coach. Where? When? How? When? They ran him out of Jersey. They ran him out of Milwaukee. When? So, I'm looking at this, and I think that that organization is giving credit, like credit to a guy like Nico. What had Nico done? Here, Curry's signed a deal with Nike, right? Well, we've heard the story of how Nico flubbed the deal that sent Curry to Under Armour. Curry would go on to supposedly sign $1 billion deal with Under Armour that shows they'll tell you anything that never comes to fruition. And so now he's with Nike, and Nico's not there. And so it's much of a boomerang. So a very, very, very long soliloquy and soapbox moment to say that if I were making the decisions, I would get rid of anybody that was there that knew that Luka was being traded and didn't blow the whistle or quit. That's where I would start, because I don't know how there's trust. Can you that to me? And this is just me putting on my workplace culture hat. How do you build trust? How do you build trust? Is trust not necessary to build winning culture? How do you build trust? It's an amazing case study in how you ruin something by just not telling the truth. We don't like Luka. Luka's fat. Dallas, he won't lose any weight. Either you guys stop serving him beer and pizza, or we're going to trade him. They could have come out and said that. Luka could have kept drinking beer and pizza. Okay, everybody in the NBA, send me your best offers, because Luka won't stop eating beer and pizza. Guess what? There's no uproar. There's no backlash from getting rid of Luka. But when it's 11:05 on a Saturday night, when people have had their wind down and they're feeling good, and you disrupt, and boom, there's this thing. You know what? Remember yesterday, everyone in the house remembered where they were when Luka Doncic got traded. Everyone remembered. This was across gender. This was across age groups. This was across racial groups. Everyone remembered where they were when Luka Doncic got traded. And no one says they remember where they were when Anthony Davis got traded. No one even mentions his name. They say when Luka got traded. These guys have etched themselves into the history of sports. We're trying to be some type of geniuses when all they did was create a position of oneness for themselves. They alone made a decision to get rid of Luka Doncic, and the city of Dallas will never, ever, 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 ever forget it. Ever forget it. Everybody involved gotta go. Gotta go. Tonight, I expect for Luka to put up 50 ball. 50 ball. King James is going to Luka Doncic tonight. It's going to be beautiful. The only thing worse is we won't be able to see Nico sitting in the stands. I wish we could see Nico. Somebody out there live stream Nico. Nico, go onto Twitch, put in an account, and charge people $25 to watch you watch this game. People will pay that, Nico, to see your face after you made such a decision and then stood by it until they chased you out of town. People say, hey, look, well, maybe he was made to do it. Quit. Let this be a message to anyone out there. Do not do anything you don't agree with because the job is telling you to do it. Those days are over, especially when your family is not starving. So I don't want to hear, oh, well, they told he had. No, listen. You going to keep doing what they tell you to do? Okay. Luka Doncic puts up 50 tonight. Lakers roll. Hopefully AD doesn't get injured if he plays. I wish the Dallas Mavericks all the health and all the rest of that they could have. I wish the city of Dallas healing. I really do. But you asked me my assessment on this, and that's the way I see it. And I think the results, you had a beautiful city that stood behind a team, and now you have, just what you have. Everybody is experiencing it.
Is it my
Those are
turn?
my words. That's it.
It's my turn. Now, I speak from a perspective as a former Lakers fan and who wins championships. So I am not somebody who grovels at someone who puts up stats and stats. You can have the stats. You can have your all NBA teams. I go for championships and contending. And anybody who watched that finals from a non-biased standpoint against the Celtics saw that he was the weakest link, and he refused to get into shape, and he refused to stop drinking. He refused to stop eating. He refused. And once you gave him that Supermax contract, it was going to be over. He was going to be the Charles Barkley of this generation. Great talent, no silverware. No, and Charles at least won the MVP. He wasn't even going to win an MVP after being the favorite for years and years and years. But I'm a Lakers fan, so for me, the standards are different. LeBron James can come to my team. We don't treat him the same because you didn't do that here. You didn't do that here. If I was still a Lakers fan, guess what? Look, Luka, drop your 50 bomb tonight. When it comes to the playoffs, we better be winning the championship. I don't care about no 50 bomb. You know how many times Kobe dropped a 50 bomb? We don't care about those. We care about winning the whole thing. And this is where people get it mistaken because Anthony Davis has won the whole thing. He should have been the finals MVP in the bubble. I say bubble championship. So I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to stand on that. But guess what? Luka Doncic was in a bubble. Guess what? Kawhi mopped them up. Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, they like to hate on Kawhi Leonard. He mopped this sensation that they love up. Not only that, he doubled back the next year. Came to Dallas, won every game in Dallas. Oh my God, you telling me that this guy, so beloved in Dallas, can't beat Kawhi Leonard in a playoff game? Go ahead and drop your 50 bomb tonight. But I stand by, hire Nico, Jason Kidd. He definitely, well, I won't say definitely, allegedly, definitely knew about something. And guess what? Jason Kidd has been around champions. He's been around LeBron James. He's been around AD. He molded Giannis, when he went to the Bucks, guess what? The same thing he did with Cooper Flag, he did with Giannis. He said, Giannis, I'm gonna make you the point guard. And then everybody was questioning it. And guess what? Look at Giannis now. He don't play the point guard, but if he need to take the ball into his hand and make a play, he can do it. He can do it. And he's, the second best player in the NBA, probably all around. So, yeah. And he was able to assess Luka Doncic and his bad habits and say, this guy, he's not it. And I agree with him. I agree with him wholeheartedly. I'm sorry, Dallas. And I get it. When you come from a perspective of, you know, shout out to Dirk, the one championship, it was a great run. And Dirk, that's a dog right there. That's top 20, that's top 15. But when it comes to you in another form, and when Luka first came to Dallas, it looked very promising. He was in shape, he was moving well. Like, defense was still a problem, but he wasn't in bad shape. And it progressively got worse on that end, but the stats kept padding. The stats kept padding. Other players, they stat pads or they pass stats. That you got Russell Westbrook, he passed stats. James Harden, they're the same player. Him and James Harden, the same player. But nobody talks about James Harden in the same breath as Luka Doncic. I wonder why. I won't say it on live, but we know why they don't talk about Luka Doncic the same way they talk about James Harden. So, me personally, hey, I get it as Dallas Mavericks fans. You don't play for championships that often, so even getting there, that would have stayed in the heart forever. I don't remember. I don't even like to think about the times that we just got there. Who cares? We need
Who
to
is we?
win it all. I'm a
Who is
former
we?
Lakers fan. And when I say former, guess what? Those memories before, the same way you was a Cowboys fan, those memories don't disintegrate. I was still a fan at that time. So we, and now I'm not saying we now, because whatever the Lakers got going on now, God bless them, good luck. I'll be back once you get rid of stat patterns. Once all the stat patterns are gone and we get back to real basketball, get back to, I won't say real coaching because I don't think JJ's a terrible coach. But yeah, hey, I get it. I get it. But at the same time, you weren't getting anyone better than Anthony Davis, a champion, and should have been the Finals MVP. You weren't getting no one better. Giannis, they're not getting Giannis. You're not getting Nikola Jokic. You're not getting Shea Gildress. So who are you getting that's better than Anthony Davis? You're not getting Anthony Edwards.
Well,
So
I can say this. I can say this, and I can be very, very clear about this. And I did talk about this earlier. I said that if you want to get rid of Luca, you have to open it up so that the market tells you what it's worth, what he's worth, not what you
I
think. No, 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 not just yet.
what is the market
Eh,
that's better than Anthony Davis? I'm still waiting for
Well,
that
well,
answer.
well, you're never gonna get it because they made a decision, but without actually testing the market. And we
I think
know, hold on, and we know that there were first round draft picks left in Los Angeles. And we know that Austin Reeves was left in Los Angeles. And so, if we look at these things,
I think y'all
these are
overhyping Luca, to be
no,
honest.
no, no, no,
This
there
is
is no
a,
such
this is
thing.
a stat pattern. Is he
Hey,
worth Anthony
listen,
Davis and Austin Reeves? He's a stat pattern.
absolutely,
He's a
absolutely.
stat pattern.
Absolutely. You can call, I mean, everyone in the NBA is a stack pad. I think, didn't you tell me Shea Gilchrist is
Yeah, he's a stat
taking
pattern too.
20 points, 20 points, 20 free throws a game or something like that? That's
Darn
that's what
near.
we are in that's what we are in the NBA.
But Shea
And
was able to
so,
win it though.
yeah, well, Shea was able to win it. Shea is surrounded by, first of all, he
Nah,
has the
don't do
best
that.
he has the best GM in all of probably professional sports.
Guess what?
Bruce, I can help you.
The Mavs beat them. Luka was surrounded by more. Kyrie Irving is better than Jalen Williams. All of the ancillary pieces around the Dallas Mavericks in 2024 are better than whatever the Thunder has ever had, at least before
Mm,
or after Kevin Durant and them. They
No, so
were
you
a
said
better
you
team,
said you saying that the Mavericks in 2024 are better than the Oklahoma City team that won the championship.
they had the better pieces, and they beat them
Okay.
the year before. They beat them. It's the same team. I mean, you added Alex Caruso. I don't know what that was. He ain't stopping Kyrie. Maybe he stops Luca. He ain't stopping Kyrie. So,
You know, I'm a big fan of Chet, so I don't think they have an answer for Chet.
bro,
And so Chet's a big difference maker.
that guy is not that
Y-
cold.
Yeah, he's a big difference maker. The
He might
utility
be
and
a difference maker against Miles Turner, but
yeah,
Gafford and Lively, I ain't going for that. I'm not
yeah.
going for that. And they handled them. They handled them
Well,
in the
I'll say
playoffs.
this. I'll say this. Uh, these are things that we can go back and forth about. We can just look at the results and let the results speak for themselves. You speak of
See,
your
if
perception
that's
as a Laker fan. You
yeah,
speak of your yeah as a Laker fan,
yeah.
and I speak of a perception of those of us who have lived in Dallas, grew up in Dallas, and we know there's not ever been a time where a free agent that was sought after for a max level deal has ever chose to come to Dallas. Dirk was drafted, Luca was drafted, Kyrie was traded for. There's never been a max deal of, oh, free agent signing. I'm choosing to go to Dallas. I mean, they went and I mean, even I mean, if you remember what's his name? DeAndre Jordan. They couldn't even sign him. Like they were out there, DeAndre's getting locked in a room by Blake Griffin, and Mark Cuban thinks that he's signing DeAndre Jordan, some big splashy
Yeah.
whatever didn't
Bullet
happen.
dodged.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bullet, yeah, completely. But my point is, you're not going to be able to in Dallas be having a perspective like LA. We can tell you LA somehow gets these Luka Doncic type of windfalls all the time, and players will take
He
less
got
money to
players
go
better
play.
than I don't even
They
want to
go
put him
they
in that category. He's not in that category. I'm not putting him in that category. Look, Dallas, you might not get those type of players, but guess what? If you sign the supermax with that guy, you're definitely not getting that type of player. It's over. You're locked in. It's gonna be Grubhub and DoorDash, Uber Eats, mayhem. It's gonna
yeah,
be
so if that's the case, you're basically saying that what we see from Luca this year wasn't possible in Dallas. And so how is
he
it
did it in
possible?
Dallas. He's been doing triple doubles. He's been
No, no,
stacking his
but
stats.
is it Grubhub time? You were saying it was
Huh?
Grubhub time. You said it was Grubhub time. It was going to
He
be
been
Grubhub
on
time.
Grubhub time. It was just
Okay,
gonna be on
is he on Grubhub
DoorDash
time in
Plus. It was
LA?
gonna be, huh?
Is he doing that in LA?
I don't know what he's doing in LA.
Okay,
I
so
haven't I
whatever
haven't been
what
watching the
so
games like that.
so so whatever he's doing in LA, do you think it
Same
was
thing.
possible for him to do that in Dallas?
He's been getting those same stats.
Okay, so if he's getting those same stats and you see the same player, then that means that he shouldn't have been traded.
I'm a result. I see the results that you look at. You're looking at early season results. People are injured and out. I look at the long term. At the end of the season, are you going to be able to beat Nikola Jokic? Are you going to be able to beat Shea Gilgis? Are you going to be able to beat whoever comes out of the Eastern Conference? That's what I look at. I don't
If
look
you
at the
take if you
little
take Luke
small
if you take
victories.
Luca,
Those are not for
if you
me.
take if you take Luca and put him on the team that we have in Dallas right now, take AD off and take Max Christie off, send them back to LA. The team is better. The team is
Yeah,
better.
because
So
he's
you could take
available. That's fine. That's fine.
you,
Are they
the
winning
team.
the
The team is
championship?
better. You can take Cooper Flag off, send him somewhere else, and give us whatever other rookie we would have drafted. They're still a better team and actually still young and better team. The only aging contributor that they have would be Kyrie. And
Yeah,
so
but I'll take Kyrie with those
they
guys.
signed the injured Kyrie. They signed the injured Kyrie to an extension. So you have to balance the age with the youth. And what they did was they doubled down on age without getting any draft
Experience,
picks, without getting
championship
you,
experience.
and they got a lot of experience in street clothes too. They
Yeah,
got a
I
lot
get
of
it. It's a
experience
risk,
in street
but
clubs.
you had to
It's,
get out of the Uber Eats.
no,
You
no,
had to
you
get
didn't.
out of the DoorDash guy. You had to get out of there.
Hey, look, let's see this 50 ball tonight. What else we got?
Oh, I actually saw something while you were like talking. Jerry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm
Hello?
trying to see it mixing up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep
Oh,
going.
okay.
You saw what?
I saw on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Jerry Jones came out and said that he actually tried to trade Michael Parsons and the first round pick for Quentin Williams at the start of the season, but the Jets did not have the cap space. What do you think about that?
Um, I think, as I stated before, that gerrymandering is going to go to an all-time high, and we're dealing with quite possibly the most masterful manipulator of PR in professional sports history, maybe only rivaled by the late great George Steinbrenner. And so the only difference is that George Steinbrenner did a whole lot more winning than Jerry Jones. And so when defined by championships, actual championships. And so
Hmm.
Jerry is doing a bunch of winning away from the field, continues to do a bunch of winning away from the field. Jerry does. And so, and one of the reasons that is because he takes these times and these moments, and good or bad press is all good press for Jerry. It's all good. It's all good press. But what I did see at the close of that game on Fox that came on at noon, Michael Parsons was eating turkey leg. He was eating turkey leg. So Michael Parsons made more money, is in a place that is appreciating him. And Jerry, in turn, he had got to address a defense that was abysmal. And here they are now, starting to look like they may be a formidable defense against teams that aren't very good. And now Jerry he's taking that opportunity to now talk. And so one thing we can always know is Jerry's going to talk, and he's only going to talk to the people who will allow for him to paint the narrative that he wants to paint. You can go back and listen. Jerry will tell you, if you won't listen and you won't treat me like I want to be treated on here on this radio show or with these microphones, we'll shut you off. We'll get you kicked out of here. And so Jerry has a platform to be able to say whatever it is Jerry wants to say without very much pushback. Jerry does. And so if I were Jerry, I would say what he's saying right now.
Listen, Jerry Jones. I'm still upset with him for not signing Derrick Henry. I really am. Um, but Michael Parsons, congratulations for making 47 million. Congratulations on a solid game yesterday, 1.5 sacks. Davion Clowney had 2 sacks, and I think the combination is when you have two dominant wide receivers, a la Amari Cooper, CD Lamb, or CD Lamb and um, George Pickens. I think the what you need to have on defense is being able to stop the run. That way, you can always come back into a game. You can always come back into a game because the Dallas Cowboys tend to start slow. That's their one thing. They love to start slow. We saw yesterday opening drive interception, uh, or at least the first quarter it was an interception. They like to start slow. Michael Parsons didn't fit. He wasn't a fit in the locker room. Uh, Quinn Williams has come in and every defender is raving about him, and I understand probably why because
Did you think you so you said Jerry said that he took he had made some different offers and Jets couldn't do it early in the season, all the rest of that. So it sounded like he was shopping Micah around.
well he traded Michael before the season, so before the
Yeah, that's
season
what I'm saying.
started,
But
so he was definitely shopping around. And listen, we don't hear about all these things right away. But
you think he went to more than one team and he or he took what do you think?
I think they went to more than one team with Luca as well. So
That's not what they said.
yeah, the Bucks came out and said that we're going to keep Giannis, and the Timberwolves said we're going to keep Anthony Edwards. So um, yeah, those two
But
teams came out. Um, I don't think you even called the Thunder. I mean, I get why they called the Bucks because is Giannis going to stay or not? You're not calling the Thunder. You're not calling the Nuggets. The
no, no,
Nuggets
no, no,
is
no, no. So you
hanging up
mean you
on
gotta call somebody.
Michael.
You gotta call somebody to say, hey, do you want Luca, or do you say, does Jerry Jones say, hey, look, to the agents, I'm looking at potentially looking at Michael Parsons moving. I need to know what the best offers are. You guys, let's get to work. Do you go out
Well,
and test the entire market, or do
no.
you just are you gonna call two places? Oh no, no. Okay, great, take that one.
Yeah, that means he called three places. Yeah, you got to trade him to a certain place. You're not gonna you're not gonna let everything be known. But matter of fact, letting everything be known doesn't always drive up the price. Like what I mean, I just don't
But
know.
if it
Let
if it don't, then you
anybody.
hold on to it. And if you don't, then you hold on to the asset. This was not something that was
Yeah,
time
but he's
bound.
already drinking too much and eating too much. Now he's
Nah,
gonna be
man. You know
depressed.
what? Hold on. We have to stop with this narrative that says that this world class athlete was an
Not world
alcoholic,
class. He's a world class talent, but athlete. We saw it. He was out of shape. He was
bro.
out of shape.
He was coming off of injuries, but we have to. But we also, again, I just want to
He's been
be
out of
like
shape for
for me,
years.
for me, out of shape, dropping 40. For me,
That's
I don't
cool.
think I don't think that it's fair to paint Luka Doncic as some type of alcoholic. He's. I mean, I've never seen anything other than a moment with him having a beer in the locker room where everybody else was having celebrating the Western Conference Finals. So we have to be very, very careful with that. Now, also too, with his weight, this year he looks to be a little lighter. And so he's capable of playing lighter. He's capable of playing heavier. Jokic, his weight
Champion,
fluctuates some. Yeah, his weight fluctuates
three-time
some. So
MVP.
we can't we you know we that's all I want to say on about that. But I did want to make sure that we pointed out that Jerry said he went and he's testing the market. He's going to different places and he's making sure he gets big time value back.
I think Nico went to the few places that he could. I
Nico
think Mike.
got had.
Hey,
Nico got fired.
Nico did get fired.
Yeah,
Now,
Nico got fired for his
Luca
job.
may be gifted a championship some point in the future. We have to wait and see. But so
Yeah.
far, the deal is not. The
You
trade
know
is
what?
not
I've been fired before. I don't know if I've been fired before, but I've definitely been laid off. Um, but then I spoke up. I speak up, and I'm like, you know what? No, 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 this ain't right. This ain't right. And so this is not a situation. This is not a situation where someone is pointing out and highlighting someone got wrong here. This is a situation where somebody made a bad decision.
well, it's
That could be
subjective.
questioned.
When it
Huh?
comes to sports, it's subjective for the most
No,
part.
no, it's not. It's not. I think at the end of the day,
The
Jerry
same way
Jones
that
has
Kevin
experience.
Stefanski can keep his job is subjective.
Well, there's a difference between the people that make this decision and Kevin Stefanski. So it's a difference.
Andrew Barry is he
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
draft
yeah.
Shador.
Yeah,
So
it's a difference. It's a difference. And notice what you said earlier. Yeah, that was Andrew Berry who drafted Shador in the fifth round, but it was Kevin Stefanski and the owner. This is the way you positioned it earlier.
that's what it was.
Okay.
So, but I mean they could fire Nico and still win the championship at some point in the future. I mean, two things can be true, and I'm not saying that's true because it hasn't happened or anything, but yeah, I just know that there's three players on the Dallas Mavericks have proven to be championship players at the current on the current roster. Uh, there's I don't know how many on the Lakers currently won a championship. Was Austin Reeves there for the
No,
championship?
no.
So Austin Reeves wasn't there, so it's just Bron.
What we got? What we got? Let's wrap up. I
I
got
think that yeah,
hair
I think that's
appointments
probably
and
it.
all kind of stuff. Let's get dressed.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's it. Or at least from my end, I don't got really nothing else to talk about.
I don't know why when you talk to your children and you tell them what to do, and then they tell you about other stuff like it's different than what you already told them. So yeah, I just had to just give Cruz one of those looks. Yeah. So big game in sports gonna be tapped in. This is the podcast stable. I am the techpreneur for the people, former Dallas Cowboys fan, president of the retired Dallas Cowboy fan club, also critic of the Luka Doncic trade and anyone affiliated with it, and also one who appreciates when the people unite and rise in one voice. And that's what Fire Nico showed. And that's really the most important thing for me is that we here in the city of Dallas stood up and unified in our voice and said, this ain't gonna be comfortable. This ain't gonna be comfortable. And so tonight, especially in LA, will we hear Fire Nico chants? Believe we will. Believe we will, because Luka Doncic is gonna put on such a performance that the LA faithful will do him that solid and start the Fire Nico chants just because it's transcended person. It's an energy now. And so I'm looking forward to that. We have this on this Dak Friday. What's the game for tonight?
We got Eagles and Bears at 2 o'clock.
Oh, it's at 2?
It's at
Oh
two.
man. Man, I'm gonna be so I've got to take Nixon to get his hair appointment. His mother's texting me right now saying is Nixon ready for his hair appointment? Tomorrow is picture day. For those of you that know, my wife does not play about picture day. Cameron, have you gotten your outfit ready for the family pictures tomorrow?
I'm gonna find something here soon after we get off of here.
So I got to take Nixon, get his locks done up. We got to cut Nixon's hair. I got to get myself done. For the first time ever, my wife is dressing me. And so I didn't get any options. She's been really clear on what she wants me to wear. And this has never happened before ever. And so I'm feeling a little shaky about it, but I'm looking forward to it because my wife looks forward to this day. And so tomorrow we're going to show up and everything's going to turn out. It's going to look like we are having the best time in life on the other side of these pictures. Where when in real life we are just like all the rest of the Americans out there that are struggling to deal with the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones. We ride high when they win, and then we're also taking the real time challenges as they come, and we're working with them, creating. And so for us, that creation is the podcast is one of podcast table is one of those things. One integration is a whole large solution. We're going to be in Shreveport at the watch party next Friday. Cowboys versus the Lions at the casino with the NFL retired players. And so all of these things are coming together. I haven't done it in a while. I'll put it out there. Won't you come? Won't you come join One Integration? The doors of One Integration are open. And One Integration is a place where you come to make sure that you are surrounded by community and that isolation does not overcome you. And so there's going to come a time when those that you wished were there, they just don't show. And so there's going to come a time when those who planned to be there for you are going to be accessible for you. And that's who we are here at One Integration, a community full of doers that are looking to have some fun. We can come together. We can talk a little bit of sports. You can jump over and catch Hey Girl. Most recent episode, they're talking about when a strong woman gets tired. I thought that was a very, very good conversation. You can catch that on O2G TV, there on YouTube, or inside of the social media one integration community. But yeah, I mean, oh, and let me just say this: 18 years, 18 years on Sunday, 11:30, 11:30. It will be 18 years with my beautiful bride, and through all the ups and the wilderness in the valley of downs, love it like Christ loved the church. And so it's one of those things where, when people talk about marriage, they say, "Oh yeah, it's a beautiful thing." Never knew what that meant. I never knew what that meant. And I still don't know that that statement communicates it as clear as it could, considering we don't know how people define beautiful. But what I will say, just to be clear, from my description of it, is it's based off of commitment. It's about commitment. And so love is commitment. Love is a verb. Love shows up. Love is not absent. And so anybody that tries to make you feel anything other than that is gaslighting you. And they know something about a different type of love that we should never know. Because if you're not going to be there for me in my ups and my downs, then I think we should draw a boundary so that the person, you as a person, uh, what love really is. And love is about commitment and long suffering. And so that's what the weekend looks like. This is the podcast stable. Camp Era, take us out of here, bruh.
Man, we had a good Thanksgiving celebration, family celebration, coming together with friends and loved one celebration yesterday, and now we're here on Dak Friday, getting ready to watch at some point the Bears and the Eagles, and we're gonna see how these picks play out, and we're gonna catch y'all next week to review everything. I'm Cam Era. That's Tech P. Peace.
Peace.